So each year we have to produce an annual report and accounts, and we have to do that for the Pavilion Bar as a company, as a limited company, and we have to do it for the playing fields as a charity. I've got open here the playing fields one, and I'll take you through how we do these. Let's begin over at the accounts. So this is the current year accounts, and here are the financial reports. Now the last thing we have to do, and it can get tricky to do it at the end of the year, is to bring the bar profit to zero. Now ideally you do that by persuading Alison not to have any events in the last couple of days of March, and then any profit that you've got in the bar, you pay that over to the playing fields as rent, so that the bar profit will come down to zero. During the year you might want to sort of shift some over as you go. Typically we like to keep somewhere around £2,000 in the cheque account until the end of the year, and then at the end of the year any spare gets copied over. And if you keep this less than £1, then HMRC don't come looking for you. Last year I actually did this as an account payable and an account receivable. To be honest, it's annoying doing that. It's better if you can just get it paid. At the moment, the only person who can approve bar payments is Alison. When you've done that, and you've checked everything is right, and there are actually built into these spreadsheets, there are little checking sums that if there's an error, there you go, there's another one there, that will just alert you if you've got something wrong. When we're sure it's right, then we simply copy this. You can include the budget or not as you wish. Let's do that, and we copy playing fields profit and loss account, and then we slip over to playing field annual report and accounts, and that we simply drop it into there, paste it as a picture. I find works best. As you can see, the accounts were much more complicated than they are now. They're now very, very simple. You may even get the balance sheet on here as well. So we do that for the income, do it for the balance sheet, and then the other two bits we do is summary of activity. It's a very simple thing there, and trustees official report, which has to cover a few things, and in particular it needs to note, let's just expand this, it needs to inform people of what we've done that will benefit the community. Okay, it has to talk about our financial reserves. The Charities Commission recommends 6 months of normal income, and we typically hold 12 because of the building, but any more than that the Charities Commission look with disfavour on. And then anyone who's donated us money, we need to recognise that there, because if we want money from them next year, they want to know that we've put it in the accounts. But that's a simple enough thing to do. And the final thing is the independent examiner's report. Now we do not have to have a full audit because our income isn't high enough, so the examiner does not have to be a qualified accountant. They simply have to be somebody who can understand accounts. They examine the accounts. There's lots of blurb about this, but basically they make sure that what we've put in the accounts, it comes down here, that the records are kept. So we've got the receipts, we've got the documents that say we've done the right thing, and that the accounts accord with the accounting records. Some examiners check every single line. That really isn't necessary. Simply doing typical auditing, just glance at it, that number looks odd, let's look at it, let's check this particular receipt and make sure it all stacks up. And then if they've got any comments, they add them here, they sign it. This was Nick Padgham, and date it, give their address, and that's it. And all of that gets uploaded to the Charities Commission website, and it's presented to the annual general meeting if you've managed to get it examined by then. Usually I don't, and present them as draft. Okay, so that's the playing fields. The bar, again, making sure we've got to zero money. So if we go over to the bar, here's last year's report and accounts. It's a very similar format. So I've copied and pasted as a picture the profit and loss account and the bar balance sheet. And as you'll see, our net income is 0, so we don't have to worry about tax. So you do have to fill in the whole of the CT600 with lots of zeros. And you do have to tell HMRC where you want any tax owing to be paid, which again is an absolute pain, but never mind. And the retained earnings always comes out as 0. There's a shareholder loan of £3,000. And as you can see, last year I omitted to bring everything to 0, so I had a liability in there. Summary of activities is really simple, and then official report, anything we've done special, and this is one audit requirement. Okay, we get an exemption from audit because we're so small, and so all we do is have the accounts examined. And again, it's a very similar statement that we use as the charity one. There is a separate document for this that's in the handover folder, so you can change the dates and things. The original Word document, this has been pasted in, and that's how you do those. There's a separate video on how to upload all this onto the HMRC website.